Alien bully assaults human mechanic in public. Unaware his son heads Galactic security. The maintenance hub on Kepler Station hummed with the ambient drone of 1,000 systems. Marcus Chin wiped grease from his hands, studying the ion drive before him. 30 years he'd spent in these docks, longer than most residents had been alive. The station's gravity generators didn't care about his age. Neither did his creditors. A shadow fell across his workbench. The Vexthar was massive, 3 meters of scaled muscle wrapped in a pressure suit designed to accommodate their exoskeletal frame. Its mandibles clicked as it spoke, the translation collar rendering its speech in flat standard. "You, human, I require immediate repair of my vessel." Marcus set down his tools. "Schedule's full. Can take you next week." The Vexthar's neck ridge flared, a display of dominance. It grabbed the edge of the workbench and flipped it. Tools scattered across the deck plating. "I do not wait for the soft-bodied." Marcus felt a blow coming, a backhand that sent him sprawling into the bulkhead. His ribs screamed. The Vexthar loomed over him, one clawed foot pressing against his chest with enough force to crack ribs. "Next week is unacceptable." No one intervened. They never did. The Vexthar were military castes, bred for combat across 7 colonial systems. Humanity on Kepler Station, dock workers, mechanics, service personnel, learned early not to escalate. Marcus raised his hands, tasting blood. "I'll fit you in," he gasped. The Vexthar withdrew its foot, snorting something that might have been satisfaction. It stalked away, leaving Marcus on the floor among his scattered tools. 12 hours later, Marcus finished the repairs on the Vexthar's vessel. A simple thruster calibration that should have taken 4 hours. He'd done it slowly, carefully, in pain. His left side was wrapped tight. Probably cracked ribs. Definitely going untreated. Medical bills would finish him faster than the Vexthar had nearly done. He was running diagnostics when the station's environmental alarms shifted pitch. Red emergency lighting flooded the dock. A containment breach in Sector 7. Critical decompression cascade. Every available emergency responder was being mobilized. Marcus felt the station shudder as automated bulkheads began slamming shut, sealing sections. His section included the Vexthar's ship. He had maybe 8 minutes before the bulkhead locks sealed this dock from the rest of the station. The Vexthar was aboard its vessel, running final systems checks. If the bulkhead sealed, and if the emergency decompression reached this section, the ship's hull would have to withstand pressures it wasn't rated for. The Vexthar would survive. Their physiology was built for extremes. But the docking clamps would fail. The ship would crumple like paper. Marcus could activate the manual override. He could hold the bulkhead open long enough for the Vexthar to pilot clear. That would leave the dock open to the decompression cascade, increase the pressure load on adjacent sections, potentially cost lives elsewhere on the station. Or he could let it seal. He stood in the control booth, hand on the override switch. Through the reinforced window, he could see the Vexthar moving through its vessel's bridge. Marcus pulled the switch. The bulkhead began to rise. Emergency klaxons wailed. The Vexthar ship fired its thrusters, accelerating toward the opening with seconds to spare. It cleared the dock as the bulkhead descended again with a seismic boom. The decompression wave hit the sealed dock hard. Marcus felt the station groan around him, felt the pressure equalization as his section was sacrificed to save the others. He gripped the control panel, breathing hard, watching the containment status boards. 3 hours later, the cascade was contained. Marcus was being escorted to medical when a figure in a crisp Galactic security uniform stepped into his path. The officer was Vexthar, but younger, bearing the command insignia of a section director. She towered over him with an air of absolute authority. "You saved my father's vessel," she said. Her translation collar rendered it in a tone that suggested she'd never said thank you in her life. "You could have closed the bulkhead. I ran the calculations. 67% probability you would choose your own safety." Marcus said nothing. "He beat you. I reviewed the dock footage. That humiliation would justify revenge in any reasonable biological framework." She paused, her mandibles clicking softly. "Yet you chose differently. This is unexpected." She turned to leave, then stopped. "I will remember this." If you ever require assistance navigating galactic security protocols, submit your request through formal channels. They will be processed favorably." She departed. Marcus stood alone in the corridor, ribs burning, and understood something with unsettling clarity. He'd just made himself visible to someone who controlled systems spanning 3 star systems. Mercy, he realized, had consequences of its own, and he had no idea what they might be.